Hi, I'm Dave Lackie. Welcome to cityline.ca and Skincare Secrets of a Beauty Editor. As you know, I'm on Cityline regularly as their beauty expert, and today I'm going to share 10 years of interviews with dermatologists, scientists, experts about skincare. Because on Twitter, that's probably the #1 question that I get. What products do I need? How do they work? How do I choose? I think when you walk into a skincare department, it's so overwhelming. There are so many different choices. There's serums, there's all kinds of moisturizers. What do you use? So I'm gonna share some really interesting learnings that I found along the way. So let's start here. The first thing that you need to understand when it comes to skincare is that skincare is cumulative. So starting a good skincare regime when you moisturize twice a day, you cleanse your skin twice a day, that really does pay off in the long term because it keeps your skin healthy. So, I mean, Clinique really started this whole 3-step process years ago where they introduced some really great soaps. This is a liquid version that they have. A toner, which sort of would gently exfoliate for you, and then their dramatically different moisturizing lotion. So start early. Even if you haven't started for years, go back to it. It will make you look younger longer and you will have healthier skin. So first rule, that's a really important one. It does matter to really do it well. Next, the most powerful anti-aging product in the entire world is broad spectrum sunscreen. So in terms of I Love Kiehl's Superfluid, it's UVA and UVB block. And that's because sun damage accounts for 85% of the signs of aging. So when you start getting those brown spots on your face, you get wrinkles, you get sagging, the majority of that comes from sun damage. And it's not just going to the beach and getting a sunburn in the summer, but it actually is the daily, when you're outside, you're going to the car, you're walking to work, that all adds up. So if you only use one product and you use it daily, sunscreen will make the most difference in terms of staying younger, looking younger longer. So I really recommend that. This is Clinique's Super City Block. They've done an oil-free daily version, but there's all different price points, there's all different kinds of products, but I would really use sunscreen. It's really, really important. The next thing you need to understand is any anti-aging product that you use, so here I've got Estee Lauder's Advanced Night Repair, it needs a good 28 days to actually show the best results. So I think what happens with so many people is they get it home, they try it, they look in the mirror the next day and they say it's not working. Well, the reason it needs a good month to work is because the skin cells take 28 days to be sort of incubated and to come to the surface. So it's going to take and it's really 8 weeks to sort of show the best results. And here we've got Clinique's Even Better Clinical, we've got Clarins Double Serum, which I like very much. So these kind of products, if you're going to try them, give them time to work because they aren't miracle workers. They need their time to actually show the results. So again, give it time. The next thing you have to understand is that your skin condition changes over time. So I've had so many people that say, oh, as a teen, I had really oily skin, and 20 years later, they're still using products for oily skin. So you have to understand that as we get older, our skin changes. Sometimes it gets drier, sometimes it's combination, we can develop rosacea. So it's important sort of every once in a while to sort of really take a look at your skin and adapt your skincare products. The other thing that's important is that your skin condition can change depending on the season. So in the winter, much, much drier. So you may want to go from a skin moisturizer from regular to something that's a lot richer for drier skin. And that will make you feel much more comfortable. It'll keep your skin feeling a lot healthier. So again, just every once in a while, take a reading of how your skin is feeling and adapt for that. Also, if you're traveling down south a lot and you're going for business and it's really humid, your skin will adapt to that. So again, just sort of be aware of that and adapt to those different conditions that you're living in. Another thing that I have is people will tweet me and they will say, what product should I use? I need to know the best skincare product. Well, the truth of the matter is, skincare is individual for every single person. So what works for your best friend, and your best friend might have had fantastic results, won't necessarily give you the same results because your skin pH and your skin is individual. So sometimes what you have to do, it's a bit of trial and error of finding what's right for you. And if you've got something that's really working for you, stick with it. There's no reason to change if you're happy with the results. Just because someone says there's something that's new and hot, I would just sort of experiment a little bit and figure out what works for you. Then, the other thing that I think is really quite interesting that I've learned is that gently massaging your face twice a day when you've got your cleanser. Here we've got an Estee Lauder, we've got a Purity that I really like. And your face creams, there are scientific studies that show twice a day, if you spend a good 3 or 4 minutes gently massaging in an upward motion, you can improve the efficacy of your product by up to 20%. So it can actually work better. It's because you're stimulating microcirculation, so the blood's coming closer and it's sort of circulating, and it's also allowing the products to penetrate a bit more. So that's sort of a French skincare tip that you wonder why you walk down the Champs-Élysées in Paris and why the women have such beautiful skin. You know what? They really pamper themselves twice a day, and they really do a lot of massage on their skin, and it does help. So there are results that say that really works. The other thing to understand when it comes to luxury skincare products, and you know, there's a whole price range here from sort of mass to the really expensive. When I went to Paris and I actually spent time at the L'Oreal labs, which was really interesting, where they develop all of their products, one of the skincare scientists said to me, he said, the most expensive part of doing a luxury cream is the texture. He said it's actually much difficult to create a product that feels velvety and feels very silky on the skin than it does to actually have a product that works. So in terms of when you're looking at a product, they will have really good ingredients, but it's really the texture that they spend a lot of time on. And if you look at the ingredient label, and this has actually inside, but it'll have ingredients, a good proportion of those will be because of texture. The other thing that the chemists and the scientists, when they're developing these luxury products, they're given a brief and they're kind of given a budget. So what happens is, when they're developing all of these products, the marketing team will come to them and say, we want to develop a new anti-aging cream. So they'll say, here's what we want it to do, and they'll say, here's what your budget is to spend on your raw ingredients. So they will have maybe $50 that they can spend on ingredients, so they can actually improve some of the quality, they can add different ingredients to get different kinds of effects. So that, I find, in my experience, has been sort of the difference between the luxury ones and the more affordable versions. So I hope that you find that this has been interesting. These are sort of lessons that I've learned in 10 years of interviewing doctors and scientists, and I hope that you've learned something and you've enjoyed it at cityline.ca.